to him the nose guard.
What's up, everybody? I'm Cole Bebart.
I'm Ringo Dinez.
And welcome to a new episode of The Huddle. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest, the one, the only Polish Punisher. If you know, you know. Roommate, friend, captain, brother, Wally Kalinowski. Wally is a Canal Winchester graduate. He was a 4-year starter at Heidelberg University, second team all-conference in high school, second team all-district in high school. Wally was also team captain as well in high school. He's a 3-time All-AC first-team member, a 1-time All-American, 2-time All-Region, a captain of the 2022 Heidelberg University football team, as well as the 2022 Ken Wabel OAC Offensive Lineman of the Year. He now coaches at Canal Winchester. His team made it to the regional semifinal in 2023. Everybody welcome on Wally K.
Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Wally, take us through your journey through football and what it's done for you and how it's kind of developed you as a person.
I know. I mean, honestly, I grew up playing soccer because my mom wouldn't let me play football. So played soccer for a while, and I started playing in 5th grade. Fell in love with it eventually. Yeah. Got to high school. Started playing varsity sophomore year. You know, we sucked. We went 3-7. So that was a learning curve, trying to get better. I was a small guy on the team. So just hit the weight room hard, got better, made the playoffs the next year. And then our senior year, we had a good year. We went 9-1, won the conference. We missed the playoffs by like 200ths of points.
What was your record?
9-1. We lost week 1, won 9 in a row.
You didn't make the playoffs?
We did not make the playoffs.
How does that work?
We had 8 teams so that was back when there was 8 teams. Nowadays, everybody gets in, but when there was 8 teams, we were 9th. And I think there was 5 or 6 10-0 teams. And then a couple 9-1, 8-2 that made it just because they had more points and like better wins. We were in a, yeah, right, no doubt, right, no doubt, yeah. But we were it was a tough one. We had like Wadsworth, Massillon, Dover, not Dover. I don't know. There's a bunch of really good football teams in that region, and there still is. But yeah, it was tough. I mean, but high school was good. I learned a lot. Being a captain, that was a big part of being a leader, which I still try to be to this day. So learned a lot from our coaches and our staff, and I still keep in touch with all my guys. And it's full circle now that I'm coaching there with some of the guys that coach me. And then I had to make a decision between Heidelberg, Baldwin, and Baldwin-Wallace. Those were my big 2. I also was looking at Dayton too, and then came down to Heidelberg. Just felt right, felt like home. You know, and I definitely made the right decision. Oh. Yeah, it was a tough transition though, for sure, going from suburb of Columbus to good old T-Town. You know how it is in the 419, but it was definitely worth it. Became a man there and grew up a lot. But football wise, being there, it was tough. It's hard playing ball in college anywhere you go. Doesn't matter if you go there or to Otterbein, but wherever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did that stuff in high school too, so that was not easy, but it was a more simple transition rather than like not knowing what a dog soldier is. But we did the same type of thing in high school. But yeah, so I went there. Me and Darren Davis also played with me in high school, and we went to Heidelberg together. Going into camp, I didn't know. I had expectations to maybe get on the field that year, freshman year. I didn't expect myself to start, but the
Polish Punisher.
Somebody got hurt, and I used my brain because I wasn't as strong then, so I had to use my mind to get on the field rather than my ability at that point. And then it all just started gluing together. We had a decent year freshman year. We were average, but it got better. And then COVID happened. That one hurt. Yeah. We were ready to get after it sophomore year. And then, we just kept working. And, we had a good year, got all conference. And then junior year and senior year, it was go time, really, what we put all the work in for. And we got there. And just being there with the brotherhood, it meant a whole lot with all the guys. We've been through a lot, losing Curtis and all the triumphs and tragedy we went through. It was definitely a great experience. Learned a lot about ourselves. Shout out all the coaches, Coach Lewis especially, just being there for us, the O-line group, keeping us together. And, we had a great group of guys in that room with me and Donjus and Jimmy, Bobby, Zoe, Kevin, all those guys, you know. So it was a good group, and it was easy when we were all young. We were all playing, and then junior year we had a really good year. A couple things didn't go our way, but and then senior year was good. A couple more things didn't go our way, but that's a game of football, and love it. I wouldn't trade anything for it, and I mean, obviously the accolades are great. Like, that's what I worked for. So definitely I took it seriously all the time, but like when I really thought it would be a next step for me was probably during my junior year, when I was like, well, so that's when schools kind of start talking to you, and I was like, oh, this can really be something for me, because like I always wanted to do it because my dad did it. He was an All-American in college too, and so that was like always my goal, was to just like basically do what he did but better. But but he played receiver, so he's soft, but that's all right. But then I always took it seriously, like I said, but I really realized I could make it something when I started talking to coaches, and they started coming to our games and stuff like that, and going on visits with your boys in high school. It's always a good time. So yeah, and I knew like I didn't want to stop playing because I loved it so much and just loved the grind. That was like my favorite part, was just the grind of it all. Nothing beats the feeling, and then the brotherhood. Like you literally can't beat it. You can't find it anywhere else in the world. And like once you're out of it, you're out of it. Like even coaching, just no. But you feel the brotherhood and being around guys. But like when you're really in the trenches, in the battlefield with the boys, it's a special feeling. It was really tough just being away from home, because I hadn't been away from home. Real close with the family, you know how it is. But so I got there, and I mean, I was just real homesick, and it was difficult, like being away from all your boys, because all my boys went to Ohio State or Capital, so they're all still together, like home. And I'm meeting a bunch of new people that I have no idea who they are, and they're all very, very different from where I grew up. So out the way in Tiffin, it's a change, and you meet some very interesting people, but it's great, all the diversity, because you meet all your guys from Florida it's just like a totally different culture, like all those guys. And it's like, I remember coming in and like week one trying to talk to Maceo, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, yes sir, like I'm just trying to understand it, because it's a totally different slang, and like just the way everyone talks, and they probably look at us like, what are you talking about, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like all the different changes and stuff, and then like doing school and like trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, like that was tough. But I was really just I was just homesick. Like and I was ready to quit. Like even after I started freshman year, I was ready to just get out of there. But I talked to my dad and my coach in high school, and they told me to stop being soft, and basically I did. And it was the best decision I made. I mean, COVID was probably a good thing that happened, honestly, because I got to go home for a while and like reflect on everything. And then I was like, I need to be back there playing. Like, it'd be the worst decision if I didn't do that. So for sure, that was a big thing. And once I got through that, once we came back from COVID, I was honestly good. I fell in love with it, being in Tiffin.
Cole told me that you were working as a RN and you were playing football. So just tell me a little bit about how your schedule looked like and how that was like.
Yeah, I was. So basically, my freshman year, I was just like basically like health science major, and then I switched to nursing. I think it was like the second semester, my freshman year, or like sophomore year, fall semester. And then so the way Heidelberg did it was like a 1-2-1 program, meaning my freshman year I took all my prerequisites at Heidelberg. My sophomore, junior, I was at a community college called Terrace State in Fremont, taking all my nursing courses and doing my clinicals and stuff at local community hospitals. And then my final year, I was just taking like my online bachelor's courses that are all nursing theory, community outlook, and stuff like that. So I got my associates of nursing in, when would that have been? May of 22. Then I passed my NCLEX May of 22, and I started practicing with my license in July at Mercy Willard Hospital. And I was working, I did all of my orientation stuff throughout the summer. And then they were very flexible with me, and I'm forever grateful for them. And then they gave me time off during camp so I could just play football and not try to work during camp, because camp's a grind as it is itself. So then we got through that, and then I started working twice a week during the season. I would work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Thursday and Sunday. And they were very good because it was such a small hospital that we could get away with things like that. And I was working with somebody at all times, still like doing orientation. They just prolonged it because I wasn't working full time. So, yeah, we did that. And I mean, yeah, it was I like back then, like I was just like, oh, this is just like what I do. Like this is just my routine. And like thinking back on it now, I have no idea how I did it. That guy was like going on fumes, like it was yeah, like we would go, like I'd leave practice Thursday, I'd go straight to work, come home, and then Friday just rest up. Game day Saturday, we'd go out, have fun on Saturday night, win or loss, and somehow I'd find a way to get to work at Sunday night feeling not the best, to say the least. I mean, we had some good times, and that didn't stop me with work. We still got the job done. But yeah, no, it was a great experience being there, and I met a lot of good people there, and I learned a lot. That led me to where I'm at now at Nationwide Children's Hospital. And like I work in a pediatric ICU, which I love. Really love it, being in the thick of it. It's great stuff.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, what it was like to grow up in Canal Winchester, and maybe take us through the journey of your upbringing as well as how your parents played a role within your life.
No, I mean, I've been in the same house since the day I was born. I mean, my parents grew up on the East Coast. My whole family's from the East Coast, and so that has some influence in itself. They're tough people. My dad grew up in the East Coast, and I mean, he's a West Sider. If you know, you know. Shout out Scranton, and he influenced that into me. I was a little soft growing up, aren't we all? A little bit. I was a little soft. I blame my mom for that. But yeah, she's the sweetest woman alive. But and then you grow up eventually. Dad's like, stop being soft, and then you figure it out. I mean, just tough love, and then just real love, just being there for each other, having my brother there, and they were always just pushing me to be the best. And they didn't need to push me that hard because I always wanted to be the best at what I did. So, but just having them in my ear to keep going, keep pushing, being proud of me, loving me. I mean, it goes a long, long way, And yeah, my dad playing ball, so he played at Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., the capital, back in, 1983. He played wideout.
Pizza Hut.
He's Pizza Hut All-American. Honorable mention, not third team, like yours truly. I always remind him of that. But he was catching. He had 1,000 yards back when they didn't throw the ball in the 80s in Division III. So he's like Freddie Blitnikoff. Shout out if you know, with the stickum. If you know, you know that. But yeah, I mean, so he told me all their stories, like having a good time in college and just playing and all the brotherhood, and I was like, that just sounds like the best time ever, and that was a big influence of me. And like, he always gives me crap because you're like, you've never been in the end zone before, you don't know what it's like. And I'm like, dude, I'm the reason you get there. Let's be serious. Let's get real serious here. But yeah, I mean, he's the man, and the older I get, the more similar we are.
What did Heidelberg mean to you, and can you just tell us a little bit about those experiences that you still reminisce about?
I mean, there's so many good times and bad times, but I mean, just all the good time. Like a game I remember, 2 games specifically I remember. I'll give you 3, but so junior year, been John Carroll. That was a battle. That was a real battle. Awesome. And just like it was back and forth all game. We had no idea what was going to happen, and it was back and forth. Drew was slinging it. We were getting downhill a little bit with Tay when we could. I mean, it was a great game. But, I mean, it came down to it, and it was looking like we were going to go kick a field goal for the win. And then Mr. Bozo himself, Jimmy Sweat, wants to get a personal foul and punch their D lineman in the chest. Clearly after the whistle, I thought Lewis was going to rip his face off. I really did. I thought that was the last time he was going to breathe. I thought he was done. But, we came out of it. Defense came out. Shout out Ndeke Tuma. Got a big stop on 4th and goal. Shout out G. And, we got a big stop there. And, Drew dialed it up, caught a little slot fade. B. Reed cooked. Touchdown. Game ender. So that was an experience. And then like the next week we have another crazy game where we're at ONU, who we don't talk about that much. But yeah, and we were getting our tails whipped in the first half. I mean, we fumbled 4 times. We had like 6 points. It was like disgusting. We got shredded in the locker room, and then we came out, we ran the ball, aired it out when we needed to, and then comes down to it, we score, Jace gets in, they go down and score like that, and then I don't think there was, if I remember correctly, there's 38 seconds left, and we got the ball. First play, actually, I thought the game was all over because of me. I gave up a sack the first play. It was the first sack I gave up in a long time that year, and I was like, "Oh, we're done," because I didn't think we had any. I didn't think we had any timeouts. I was like, "Oh, we have no timeouts. We're literally screwed." I was like, "It's all my fault. Like, I can't do this. I'm literally never coming back here." And then Lewis called timeout. I was like, "Oh, we have a timeout." And then we threw B. Reed caught a deep out, got out of bounds, and then catch of a lifetime happened. Drew Macio's down there somewhere always. Went and got it, and the rest is history. Went out on a high note that year, and I mean, those were 2 unbelievable experiences, and like just literally can't match that feeling ever. It was literally such a rush, an adrenaline rush to be there and win a game like that. And then we've been there when we lose, like on senior night, and they go for 2 and get it, and we don't get it. And that also happened freshman year when we played BW, and we went for 2 and we didn't get it. So there's so many highs and lows, and like all the triumphs you have, like it's just a beautiful thing. And like we just built so many bonds and relationships there, like with Cole, my guy Spike, Ben, Tyler, all those guys. Like it's just there's no other way to put it. We built so many memories with so many different guys, and they're still doing their thing. Like a lot of the guys we played with, like Keyshawn's doing his thing, All-American, Easton, Joe, Cameron, all those guys still doing good stuff. Our young pup Mitch out there getting better. But, yeah, Heidelberg was the best. I love it. Wouldn't trade anything for the world for my experience there.
So Wally, talk to us a little bit about that transition from being a successful college athlete to becoming a high school football coach and what that's like, and, the similarities and differences that you might see.
It was definitely a tough transition because, like, I get out there and we start camp. Like, I was there all summer, like, doing workouts, and, like, it's workouts, just push the guys, get them going. Just like how I was when I was playing, like, as a leader and as a captain, like, pushing everybody. It was just on a different side of it, so it was different. I didn't have to do any of the BS running that I didn't want to do, so that was cool. I didn't have to yell at somebody to run. I was like, I always wanted to be on the other side, but once they put the pads on is when it really was a tough transition because I missed it because I knew because we had another year and I was like, damn, I could have done it. But it was tough the first couple weeks for sure, just getting used to it, that I'm not playing anymore. I knew some of the kids already just from being around over the summer and working out with them. But so that was tough, getting that through my head. But then once I figured because it was a new offense from what I ran in high school, so I learned the offense and just getting in the thick of it. Trying to explain from what I the knowledge I have to put it on them and teach them how to implement that on the field, and then how to be good men and how to grow up, because everyone's an idiot when they're 16, we've all been there. So you learn a lot through high school, and they think you're an idiot. You think when you're 16 you know everything, right? So some kids are, it's just the way it is. Some kids are easier to get to than others, and you just got to coach every kid differently. You can be really hard on one kid and give them, you can be hard on them and get on them. And then some kids can't. That's just not the way they are coached. It doesn't make them less of a person or anything, but that's just the way they take coaching. And that's just the way life is. So just trying to implement what I know and learn a lot from these kids and the coaches that I coach with, and how to use my knowledge from football and life in general, just to help them. So I would say the biggest transition was just adjusting and being on the other side of it, and learning how to coach rather, because we know how to be coachable. So you're on the other side of it, and how do you teach a kid that is coachable, and how do you work with kids that aren't as coachable? Yeah. So it was a big transition, but it was definitely a great time, and I'm looking forward to it again.
So, Wally, take me through a little bit about your experiences at coaching at Canal Winchester. I know you coach under a very successful program. Talk about, coaching underneath some coaching greats up there in Canal, and maybe some experiences and what it's kind of taught you.
Yeah, we went 11-2, most wins in school history, won the league. What else? We went to the regional semifinal, I believe, as far as we've been in school history. So, I mean, it was a record-breaking year. We had so many guys that are very talented, good players, great kids. I mean, they worked their tails off, and they loved every second of it. So, but the staff, I love them all. The head coach, he's been there, I think, 4 years now, but he wasn't my coach, but he's a great guy. I mean, for letting me on and, volunteer, because I'm not there all the time with my work schedule. But just the opportunity he gave me was a blessing. And then, our defensive coordinator, D-line coach, O-line coach, and I think that's it. They all coached me. So they saw me as a player and, pushed me. And then to be, next to them, working with them, coaching with them, it's very special. I still have such a good relationship with all those guys. I mean, and then – and another guy, our wide receivers coach, I played with him too. We played together in high school, and now he's coaching and teaching at Canal. So, I mean, it really is full circle with that because we're the young guys, and just getting through it and learning, dealing with all the things that go with coaching and the long hours there can be, and watching film on a different perspective as a whole. It's just it's great, and but just the coaches, they're great. I mean, they're so easy to work with, so easy to get along. It's a great time, it really is.
So as an athlete and as a coach, you've probably heard this a lot, probably from some teammates or maybe some kids you have been coaching. What would you tell a teammate or a kid that is complaining about their playing time?
Just keep working. I mean, there's not, you can control what you can control, as a coach. I mean, I'm not putting the guys on it. I'm helping making the decision, but it's the head guy's decision to put the best 22 players on the field. So you got to bust your tail to get out there, whether it's on special teams or offense or defense or whatever it is. You got to take advantage of your opportunities. As a wise man once said, don't, what do you say? What Coach D always say? Don't count your reps, make your reps count. Absolutely. And it really is so true. And I learned that in coaching. It's some of these guys want to play. They want to get out there. They get upset when they don't play, but they're still some of these guys are still sophomores, and even if they're seniors, we got to do what we got to do to win. Yeah. And that's just the way the game of football is. And you're gonna work your tail off, and sometimes working your tail off isn't gonna get you exactly where you want to be and playing every down. But if you're just on special teams and you're a warrior, then that goes such a long way. Special teams is such a big part of the game that people don't understand, and so. Playing time, it's you got to do what you got to do. And if you're doing everything the right way, you will find a spot on the field. It's just that simple, whether it's on special teams or you're starting on offense or defense, or even if you're rotating, you'll get on the field as long as you give it your all and you're good in the classroom, you're a good person. That's what it comes down to, yeah.
Tell us about your favorite memory as an athlete. It doesn't have to be in college, just your favorite memory as an athlete in general.
I would say the biggest, thing that I always remember is the change of pace from going from high school to college. It was it's just compared to high school, or high school compared to college is slow motion. You're out there, you're everything's going, yeah. And then you get to college, that first snap against Adrian week 1. I was what is going on? And then the first play from scrimmage, not even from scrimmage, the first play of the game, takes the kickoff to the house. So I'm anxious already to get out there, and I'm dang, I gotta wait more. So I'm freaking out, and then we get out there, and we scored 40 points in the first half, and I was hey, this isn't that bad. But then you play a real tough opponent, when we played Mount freshman year. That was definitely, it made me realize I need to get in the weight room because those boys were grown men. I think they lost in the Natty that year or something. I don't even know, but. Yeah, not that year, but I think they, but that because I just was physically outmatched then when I was 18 and playing against the 22-year-old dudes, just going to work. And I mean, and that was a big stepping stone and realizing like what I needed to do to get better, like playing against them and Carroll that year, because Carroll was really good that year as well, and their D-line is always unreal. So like playing against those guys, that's a core memory because it like helped me become the player I am today.
What was maybe the hardest thing you experienced through your sports career, either as a player or as a coach?
The most difficult was probably like the nursing stuff, like being a nurse while I was playing. Like that was very difficult, and like just so like it just would put so much on your body, on your mental. Like never had a second to just breathe, which was okay then. I mean, I needed to be busy and get things done, so it like helped me push through. And like hard times made me learn. It taught me a lot. Like you can go a lot farther than you think you can. Like you can push yourself to limits and even past that. Like so, that was huge for myself, and just getting through that stuff. That was a very difficult time, just because I had like, you know what I mean, being a captain, like you got people relying on you on the O-line, relying on you, like trying to make sure you're doing things the right way. And then I had to go, be a nurse and like work through that. So that was tough. That was tough. It was really hard on the mental. But the thing that was truly probably the hardest was when we lost Curtis, and but I mean, obviously that hurt us all, and but we were there for each other, and I think it made our team and our brotherhood so much stronger that I don't know that it would have happened. Like we wouldn't have gotten that close without that happen. I mean, God, yeah, God rest his soul. But like, I mean, we all bonded like no other than like I felt closer than any of those guys, and in those moments when we were at our lowest, really. And that's when you find out what kind of man you are. There's so many different things that you learn from coaches, and just like little things they say, whether it's like schematics and like Lewis is dicing it up and you learn something, you're like, well, I never even thought about that. Or just like guys, or in the weight room, just guys pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. Like being pushed to your limits is like something that always like helped me. Like Coach Nickel, for example, he pushed you until you literally couldn't go. And I mean, he's the reason I went to Heidelberg. He recruited me, so like he will always stick with me. And what a guy he is. And just like having guys that just like get on you and like push you and to be great, because that goes a long way in football. Like obviously I wanted to be great there, but you take those experiences and you transition that into life. And like times are tough, but you'll get through it. Like there's nothing you can't get through. Like we got through a lot of stuff then, and you just transition from football mode to life mode, and just growing up, and time to be a man.
Wally, I just want to thank you for coming on today. I don't have much for you. Just want to say thank you, and I loved hearing your story and just hearing you talk about being an RN while playing football. Just have a lot of respect for you for doing that. I know it takes a lot of hard work, so I just want to give the floor to Cole to close it out.
Wally, brother, friend, captain, teammate, all the above. You've helped me overcome a lot of obstacles in my lifetime. I don't think I'd be the person that I am without you, and I know that I've helped you too. And without this friend group or this friendship that we have, I don't think that I would be the person I am today, or have became the man that I have. We really appreciate you taking the time to come on, kind of spread a positive message, and also hear your story. I know that a lot of people could be impacted by your story, your upbringing, and also what you've brought to the table. We really appreciate your time, and we appreciate you coming out here and spreading a positive message, brother. I appreciate you. I love you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a blast. I love it in here. You guys are great. Cole, you're my guy. You know how it is. But yeah, can't say much. But yeah, gritty. Guy loves ball. Love ball.
For all of you guys that are watching, we really appreciate you for taking the time to listen to this episode, and stay tuned for more, man. It's only getting started. All up from here.
That was dope, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. That was a good time. Absolutely. Appreciate you.